Rain gods, where are thou? Where are thou, rain gods? My dead grass desperately needs you, thou rain gods. Where are thou? What is happening, beautiful people? I am outside and I can feel drops. I can feel raindrops. I think it's gonna rain. It's supposed to rain, which is good because it's really dry. We desperately need the rain. My grass is dead. Trees are dead everywhere. It's a dismal sight. We definitely need some rain. We've had a bunch of forest fire problems, which I've told you about in previous vlogs. So I'm hoping and praying that the rain gods are listening and they will come and pour their hearts out. That's what I'm hoping for. So guys, my friend came over to drop off a wedding card. Now it's customary during a Sikh wedding, Punjabi wedding, that whoever invites you, whether it's the girl's side or the guy's side, they drop off a card, something like that, with a traditionally box of sweets. It's customary to do this. Now, traditionally they give you laddus. Laddus, if you don't know what they are, just basically flour and sugar, and then convert into like this little ball. It's like a little donut, kind of. Very tasty, very rich, very sugary. So I'm looking forward to that. This wedding's in October. A good friend of mine. Basically, all my close friends will be there. It's good. It'll be fun. The whole family will go. So I just want to kind of give you a background of kind of like customs for Punjabi weddings. There's so many little customs and little things that we do, and when they come up, I'll definitely vlog them for you. All right. Hey guys, how you doing? I had someone message me regarding my camera and how I get that blurry background. Basically, it's my lens and what we call aperture. I'm just going to give you a quick sort of 5-minute lesson on what aperture is. Aperture in photography or film is basically the opening and closing of the lens. Okay, so the way aperture is measured is in f-stops. So lower the number. For example, this one is at, let's see, I'm at about f2.5. Means that the lens is more open, allowing more light to come in. Okay. On the flip side, when the f-stop numbers are higher or bigger, that's allowing less light in. Like for example, in sunny days or very bright days, the f-stops, you notice, will typically be higher because it's already bright out, and we refer to that as being stopped down. There's 3 things that affect aperture. One, of course, is what I just explained to you, is the aperture of the lens. So right now I'm shooting at aperture of 1.8, which is wide open. It's the widest this lens can go. So this is going to allow lots of light. Okay. So now, as you notice, the background, if you can see the shed, is kind of not in focus, right? But watch, as I come closer, even though I'm at the lowest aperture, now it's in focus. So you need to understand that also the subject and the distance of the subject to the background also affects depth of field. That blurriness is what we call depth of field. So right now, the background is shallow depth of field. That's what we call the blurriness, or bokeh. Okay, so here's an example. So this is basically, again, at f1.8, and I'm just showing you, I'm zoomed into this pole here. If you look at the background, you can see it's blurry. Okay, now I'm going to gradually go through the f-stops and you'll see the difference. So let's go to f4. So this is f4. Now the background's starting to get a bit more clear. Let's go to f8. Now it's, a lot more clear. Let's go to f11, which is the highest this will go at. And it's pretty clear. Okay, so the third thing that affects that blurriness or the depth of field is what focal length your lens is at. So now this can zoom out a little bit. So basically, if I fully zoom this out, it'll have an auto aperture. I don't know what it will be. I'll let you know in a second. We can also use that to get that blurriness, and I'll show you in 1 second here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fully zoom out the lens. I may have to step back a bit because of the focal range. somewhere there. I'll zoom in there and go down to the lowest aperture that I can get to, which on this lens will be f2.8. Now, here's what I mean by focal zoom. So I'm fully zoomed out, and the lowest aperture that I can get when I'm fully zoomed out is f2.8. So if you notice, the background is blurry. Okay? So what does all this mean? Basically this, okay? Just to recap. So when you're looking at your aperture or your lens, the lower the number for the f-stops means more light, it's wide open, more shallow depth of field. The opposite is when the numbers get higher. Now just to give you some sort of numbers, typically portraits, when you shoot portraits, you get that blurriness, right? That's the way I like to shoot portraits. For a single person, you know, you want to shoot as low as you can. When there's more than 2 people in a picture, I like to shoot around f4, f5.6. When there's a group, 4 or more, right, then you gotta start taking the aperture higher and higher, right? So it totally depends. Okay, again, the shallow depth of field, or bokeh, is determined by 3 things: the aperture of the lens, the distance between the subject and the background, and the focal length of your zoom. And that's basically it.